Hey kids, you're listening to Nothing in Moderation with Travis and Mike. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on this regularly scheduled dumpster fire.
You can catch us on all the social medias under @NothingInModPod. So let's go ahead and get this hillbilly hog fight underway.
Oh shit, I just spilled White Claw all down the front of my shirt. This podcast is off to a great start.
It's a good thing there's no laws while you're drinking those things.
It is a good thing because I just ruined this wife beater that I'm wearing.
You just got to beat the wife later.
Yeah, no. That's I don't know if you've met my wife. She could take me.
Yeah, I get it too. My old lady, all she has to do is throw a fucking roundhouse kick and that's lights out for me.
Yeah, pretty much. She seems like the type that could roundhouse kick pretty well.
Oh, she took Muay Thai fighting for several years.
Yeah, see?
So it'd be like getting hit by Mirko Krokop in his prime.
God damn.
That's fucking whack. Teeth
that sounds terrible, actually.
Yeah, well, she puts you, in what are those locks called where they wrap their legs around you.
That's how she keeps you around. It's not love, it's fear.
Yeah, that's why I don't leave. She threatened to send me to the guest den the other night, and I was like, no, that means you're going to make me go fishing soon. So that's not an ideal outcome.
Not an ideal outcome at all. So, what's going on, buddy? How's things?
Good, man. Just hanging out and living the isolated life dream where you don't have to shower very often because you don't get all sweaty because you're a fat, lazy fuck like me and you don't go out and exercise like you should. And
that's valid.
Don't sweat, don't stink. Don't offend your partner. Don't worry about a shower every day. Save money on water, save the environment, some shit like that.
I still take a shower every day.
Well, I mean, you should, and I should too. But if
it makes me feel normal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not normal.
And I don't want to shame people that don't take a shower every day in this time. Like, it's perfectly acceptable for you not to. Like, I don't, if that's on you. Like, it's one of those things. Like, I have to kind of put myself into a routine.
Yeah, you got to get something done. So, you have to accomplish something throughout the day, or you feel like a lazy fuck.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I feel like a lazy fuck no matter what I accomplish, but
once we can
that's just from years of being beat down. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be different if you were having naughty time or something. You're definitely gonna want to be scrub-a-dub-dubbing beforehand.
I don't know, are you?
Yeah, well, I mean,
doesn't seem like some shit you'd do.
Yeah, I don't want anybody's face near my butthole if I haven't washed it that day.
That's a valid point.
I mean, I may not have pooped recently, but it's probably still not a safe place to be venturing if it hasn't been washed.
Probably not. I would guess not.
You guys have the one main bathroom at home, right?
Yes, we have the main bathroom and then we have the studio bathroom.
When one of you uses the restroom at home, do you leave the door open or do you close it for privacy?
Close it.
So you guys don't like holler out the door at each other or anything?
Nope. Oh yeah, I mean we'll yell at each other through the door.
Through the door. I've known,
but
good.
Not normal conversation. Like, it would be more of a, like, if I'm going outside or if I'm going to the store or something, it'd be like, all right, baby, I love you, I'll see you in a little bit. Like, that's the most I'm going to yell through the door at her.
Or, hey, help, I need toilet paper.
Yeah, I've done that before too.
Okay. See, and we're the same way, poop shy type deal.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely.
We have friends that are definitely not. Like my sister having the two kids at home, it's not unusual for her to leave the door open because the kids are going to come in anyway, but it's not unusual for her to leave the door open. And I remember her peeing with the door open, whatever, but it's like, dude, if you're going to poop, you need to close it. At least,
for real.
At least keep all that in there. And then there's other people, and I'm not going to name names, but I have a friend that, like, if he has to go to the bathroom, even though there's two bathrooms in the house and the old lady's in the shower, he's still going to use the master bathroom to poop. And I was like, oh, I would never. Firstly, no. I'd be mortified. All the things I do with a wife, with the witch hazeling and whatnot, that's different than me going in the bathroom and her having to turn around while she's showering and seeing me take a poop.
Yeah, that's definitely weird, and I think people that do that are actual psychopaths.
I mean, I pooped in the public shower, but that was because it was funny and because it's not my wife. I like her too much.
Well, and it's not your shower.
Well, that's true too. I didn't have to clean it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic that some people have that we definitely don't. I mean, like the witch hazel story with the butthole thing is definitely something that is uniquely us.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told you the story about when we were in Iceland that the old lady, because it was funny, decided to draw an octopus on my scrotum for me. And we took photographs of it, and is forever known as the Icelandic octopus.
Like, I couldn't imagine having, like, because that's not a simple task. That's not something you can do in just a second. Like, it takes some time to draw an octopus, and then add in the fact that you're drawing it on testicles. It's got to take even more time.
Yeah, it's a ballpoint pen's also an interesting feeling on your scrotum.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was where I was going next, but like, I just can't imagine letting somebody just draw on my testicles. Well, I mean, regardless of who, like, you know, doesn't matter who it is.
Right, but I mean, you've let people draw on you with needles before, with all them there tattoos.
Yeah, that's a little different. It's not my testicles. I don't know that Babin would do a testicle tattoo. Well, I'm sure I'll get a text from him when he listens to this telling me no.
Yeah, well, at least we'll have an answer.
It's true.
What if I want a permanent
Babin,
octopus on my
let me know.
A nice
for the right amount of money, I'm sure. I'm sure you can find a tattoo artist out there that would do it.
It'd probably be, $250 for the tattoo and $1,000 handling charge.
Yeah. Oh, man. There's got to be a niche tattooer out there that only tattoos testicles.
Oh, aren't there porn stars or people getting their buttholes tattooed and stuff like that?
I haven't read anything like that, but that wouldn't surprise me at all.
I mean, I know I've seen just people who have full-blown butt tattoos, and it's like the butthole is the octopus mouth.
That's ridiculous. I want to do my knuckles at some point.
Do you really?
Yeah, but I don't know what I want to get on them. Like, I wanted to get my last name, but it wouldn't, like I would have to leave, like, my pinky knuckle on my right hand blank, and then do, all and then cock on the other 4 knuckles. So
yeah, but then you just run into the issue if you have the word cock tattooed on one hand.
Well, that's that's A, half the funny of it, but B, I'd have to figure out how to explain that the other, you know what I mean? That's the other half of it, is having to figure out how to explain it.
Well, you're right-handed, correct?
Without having to I am right-handed, yeah.
So you almost need to have it written on the mirrored way so that your right hand has cock in or on it all the time.
I like that. Yeah. That's awesome.
It's the masturbatory hand.
I'm gonna write that down. Save that shit for later.
Or you could be really funny and just have all balls tattooed on your hands, and
that would be funny.
And quote it to my dad.
Alb. It would be alb alls.
Yeah,
that might work.
See, yeah, I think that'd work because the first 3 on each side would be ALL.
All right, we'll have to figure that shit out. I'll get with Babbitt on that one. After I finish my leg, I might do my knuckles.
You'll have to ask Babin what he'd prefer to tattoo on you, all cock or all balls.
Yeah. Which would you prefer to write on my knuckles in the typical script that most people get their knuckles tattooed in? Actually, I want my knuckles done in Comic Sans.
Ugh, it's so professional. You could just.
I hate people that do that shit.
You could just get, what was it that the kid at my last job was saying? He was asking Mike what it was on his hands that was tattooed, and it's give and take, and Mike turned around and asked the kid, he's like, well, what are you going to get tattooed on your knuckles? Or maybe I asked him, but
yeah,
and he's like, I don't know, probably like lion in some ancient language or something.
That's like the anchor with "I refuse to sink" written in it.
But that's what they do.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just thankful that I follow enough like legit good tattoo artists that they all make fun of that. But I also saw one of them the other day. Like, I promise to never get mad about a live, laugh, love tattoo ever again. Just let me go back to tattooing. And I was like, man, I felt that.
I'm sure you've seen the meme going around. It's like talking about having class and people with live, love, laugh somewhere in their house.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very trendy, 10 years ago?
Yeah, and I mean, depending upon every female that had live, laugh, love somewhere in their house or tattooed on them also states as often as possible that they don't like drama.
What? The drama llama?
Yeah, they're like, I don't like drama. Drama just, I don't have time for drama.
But it
also,
follows
you have
me
live,
everywhere.
laugh, love tattooed. Yeah, exactly. You love drama. Also, you don't understand what live, laugh, love means.
I know when I used to hang out with my buddy Steve, who was tattooing, and Philly John and stuff, that they used to say once you've been tattooing long enough or you're familiar enough with it, you can look at tattoos that people have a lot of times and know roughly within 5 years of when they got it. Like the barbed wire arm tattoos, or the tribal this tattoo, or the swallows, or tramp stamps.
Absolutely. If I see tramp stamps today, I can roughly guess when you got it. And if I see tribal tattoos, I can roughly guess when you got it.
So it's when stuff is trending, and you get them, if you're not a tattoo artist, a lot of times it's because of that. You know what I mean? Obviously, a lot of tattoo artists, they're like, hey, my skin's a canvas, so I just get whatever, whenever, pick shit that I want and get it done.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, I had a buddy who had a bunch of flash art stuff, and I'd ask him, hey, why'd you get that? He's like, I thought it looked cool. There's like no meaning. He's like, no, what the fuck's it matter to me? I'm like, all right.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't, I don't mind those people. I don't think. I don't know.
And, I mean, Frankie used to have a Mountain Dew logo tattooed on his thigh because he thought it was funny.
I thought about getting the podcast logo tattooed on me, but
I'd give
it's
it
got to run. We got to have we got to have a little more than like 20 episodes for me to put it on there permanently.
Yeah, I mean, hey, how about this? If we make it to 1,000 regular downloads weekly.
Oh, I was going to say we're already over 1,000 total.
No.
So like that's where we're already getting tattoos. If that's your bet.
No. When we hit a weekly download amount of 1,000.
All right. So how long does it have to like? It can't be just one time. Like how many weeks in a row do we have to do 1,000 to get a tattoo? 4. So a month, 1,000 downloads a week over a month period.
Yeah, I think that would show a trending average. And,
okay.
and I mean, unless we have all of a sudden it's like we have 50 a week, and then all of a sudden it's 1,000 a week for 4 weeks, and then it's back to 50.
So we got to wait it out the 5th week to see. It's almost like backing up your 8-second pass.
No, you just go out and you make one 8-second pass every 6 fucking months, and then people have to respect it.
Yeah, no, they don't.
No,
I promise.
I think that's a fair mark. I mean, I think it's achievable, but I think it's also not an immediate thing.
I'm with it.
Especially if we end up turning out more content weekly. It means like 150 downloads per episode if you're doing 6 episodes a week or something. No,
I mean, I'm not planning on doing that many episodes unless I quit my job, and I don't see that happening anytime in the near future.
Oh, I know.
Unless it's by force.
I know that was part of the plan in doing the van life stuff.
Yeah, it's at some point, but I still think I've found a lot more in the ways of remote work. So I'd probably work a normal-ish job, as we progress towards that.
Yeah, but I mean, we could still. I mean, if we have 1,000 weekly downloads, we might be making some kind of money off of it to help supplement income. But
I would hope so.
If you do a remote job,
if nothing else from like a Patreon type deal where people can donate whatever they want.
Right.
Almost as like a tip type of deal.
Yeah, $1 a month subscription gets you this and blah, 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 blah.
And
a naked sign.
This probably isn't podcast. This probably isn't recording for everybody podcast convos, but I think I would rather do something like that versus having sponsors to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell my soul to the devil.
You always belong to somebody.
Yeah, but I'd rather at least be able to have some sort of say in who I belong to, I think is where I'm at. But you never know. I've never had money, so I don't know what it's like. Well, I don't know what I'm missing out on.
You're going to get that $1,200 from the government.
I guess. I mean, I'm going to give it right back to the government and pay my taxes. So I figured that's the smartest thing to do with it is give it back to them.
You just got to go blow it on non-essential stuff. Your Shure microphone and some guns and ammo and soup.
Well, I'm only getting you and I microphones if that's the case.
Okay.
So, because the microphones I want are going to eat up that $1,200 stipend.
Yeah, it happens.
So, it do be like that sometimes.
Speaking of our fans, we hope you guys have made it this far into the conversation. We do want to give a sticker shout out. We packed up stickers for 4 or 5 fans, I think, this week.
I think so, yeah. Something like that. Got some family mixed into that too.
Yeah, stickers went out to the second wife, Charlotte, and to Vanessa from the AA group.
Yep.
And I think you had some family on your side.
I sent some to my brother. Yeah, I sent some to my wife's aunt. So hi to Karen and Deb. They're gonna love that, I hope.
And
if they still listen, they may have already given up. They've already been like, this is too much for us after the porn talk last week. So we'll see.
I think I sent you a screen capture from our Insta where or Insta or Facebook, where there was another fan who was asking about getting a couple stickers. So those will be going.
Yeah. There was one on Facebook and one on Instagram that I gotta mail out this week. No, I'm still here. I mean, I can hear you, but you show paused on my screen.
So yeah, we're trying to get that kind of stuff done. So it's Nick Hamill, one of the fans, I think, is who we're getting them out to.
Yeah, he's a local podcaster.
Good deal.
I noticed he was into Barry. I didn't get a chance to listen to his podcast yet, so I don't know. It appears that it's about.
Okay. And I don't know if I mentioned him last week. Dave Mackey reached out to us. He got the stickers.
Oh, yeah.
He sent us a couple pictures. When you guys and gals get your stickers, please feel free to send us pictures. We want to share them on the Facebook, on the Instagram, stuff like that. I know Dave was telling me that he's got a couple other guys he works with hooked on the show. So he said every Monday and Thursday, somebody on a job site's playing it. So that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is. And Cole, he does the Cellar Lore podcast. Like I said, I don't know anything about it. I haven't actually had a chance to listen to it. So I'm not even really sure what it's about, but we definitely appreciate him showing some support.
Good deal. If anybody else wants some stickers, please pop us a message on any of the socials. We're happy to get those out to you. And like I said, we want to get pictures of wherever you put them, whether it's a toolbox or a trailer or, on the fridge.
Or your trailer that you live in, Billy.
Right. I know Chris Knapp sent me a picture of his sticker on his beer fridge. So
nice.
That's good shit, man. We appreciate the support, guys.
We do.
And gals.
And gals. Or gal. Yeah, gals. No, we got more than one.
So big topics this week.
Oh, man. We got two of them. There's only two big topics this week. We all know what one of them is.
We'll skip to the virus after the breaking news.
Yeah. We need the breaking stuff first.
So in NASCAR this week, I think just within the last couple days, Kyle Larson, who's a driver, was doing some live gaming streaming with some other people, and was doing a mic test and used a racial slur, and it went out live and got recorded. And he has subsequently been indefinitely suspended and then fired from the team, and sponsors started bailing on him.
Yeah, I think he's lost pretty much all of his sponsors at this point. I guess what's weird to me about this is I don't know, I don't watch NASCAR really. I don't follow it a lot, but I've noticed that people are surprised, and everything I know about NASCAR tells me that nobody should have been surprised that this happened.
And by surprised, you mean surprised that word came out of a driver's mouth, or surprised?
Yeah, absolutely.
That jammed up.
Surprised that he even said it. I expect him to get, he should have lost his job and all of his sponsors, within minutes of it happening. I can't. There's people out there that are like, oh my God, I never would have imagined that somebody would say this in NASCAR. That's like the F word to them, I think. I don't know a lot of NASCAR fans, so I don't, I could be wrong, but.
And I think that's a pervasive stereotype for the fan base, and given the area of the country the majority of drivers come from, that Carolina region.
North Carolina.
Yeah, North, South Carolina, stuff like that. Country, southern white folk. Yep. It's probably
Bible Belt.
A little more pervasive in that particular grouping of people than, people who have a larger diversity in their population that they live in and operate within. I am not surprised that it is a term that was used in what was believed to be a friendly setting. Hey, I'm playing games with my friends, and that was said, and it's coming from, a Southern white American.
Yeah.
I had a couple Spanish friends of mine I was talking to, and they're like, oh, well, he probably didn't mean it to be racist. And
what?
They're like, yeah, I don't think he meant it to be racist, and he just probably figured he was bullshitting with his buddies. And I was like, I can't believe I'm going to have to be the one to explain that just because someone quote unquote doesn't mean it racist.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not.
Make that statement not racist. And they're like, oh, well, it's just ignorance, and he's an idiot and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, the thing he's ignorant of is that someone was going to hear it. If he's using it in the game, it's obviously a term that is part of his vocabulary regularly. It's not like it's a new word he learned and doesn't understand the concept of or the disrespectful nature of it. You know, it's a, yes, officer, I was speeding. You just happened to catch me this time. I do it all the time type situation.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so it's...
Oh, he finally caught me.
Yep, finally. But it's one of those things that it's unfortunate. I don't even know if unfortunate's the right word, but kid's 25 years old and he blew up a career for the foreseeable future where he was probably on track to make millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because racism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not going to lie. There's lots of people that use the term every day and they use it in certain company and not in others, and they don't have to pay the penalty for it because it's not broadcast to the world. But when you're in the public eye, even if you have racist beliefs, it's probably not best to openly share them. I mean, it'd be better to not be racist.
I think, you know, the my problem with the comfortableness of people saying it that shouldn't be is that it seems like more recently it's become easier for them to feel comfortable saying it. And I think that's the most frustrating part. Is like it's, you know, we went through a period where it wasn't, you know, they weren't as comfortable saying things like that out loud.
Because we were,
you know, more so
they were being pushed into a minority group themselves to where, you know, if they use the term, they'd be shunned or slapped or beat up or whatever it is. And now you have, I mean, we can attribute it to 100 or different things, but it's,
oh, absolutely. Yeah.
The atmosphere has changed to where saying stuff like that is, you know, more acceptable. I mean, fuck, dude, when the last president got elected, there were people in the NASCAR belt, for lack of a better term, that would take fucking black mannequins and hang them from a tree and set them on fire and shit like that. So clearly there was the racism there, but maybe not being as open about it. So,
yeah. Now there's just more of them. They come out of the woodworks.
And by them, you mean racists, right?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry. I got to be clear.
Yeah, because I only bring that up because I got yelled at one point in time for using the word them, and which was in no way, shape, or form meant as racist or even to a specific group other than white people. You know what I mean? So I wasn't trying to be derogatory towards anybody. It was, anyway, troublemakers.
No, yeah, definitely.
But
say no more, my man. Say no more.
The less you say, the less you fuck up.
Pretty much. Well, and that's the other thing. Like, I don't understand why it's so hard to not say stupid shit.
I don't know, man. Especially like,
although at 25, like not that I would have said that necessarily, but like at 25, I'm sure I said some terrible, dumb shit that and I'm sure at some point somebody will be like, oh yeah, you said this. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I did. Shit. That sucks. My bad.
Well, I mean, what was common for people our age was, you know, did you ever play the game? It's like rugby or football, and it was called Smear the Queer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, now being older and smarter, I realize how offensive the term can be, and I attempt to not use the term. Another term, the R word, you know, it's not even the R word has gotten to the point that it is, by most people's standards, not even acceptable to use when explaining the word you're talking about, just like the N word is, which is the word in question with a NASCAR driver. And like I've seen comedians who've made the comment, like trying to explain a topic about the R word, and they're like, I'm not even going to explain it any more than R-E, never mind, I'm not even going to finish spelling it.
Yeah.
And that one, you know, with the wife having a medical background and her father having a medical background and us being into automotive stuff, you know, when you're adjusting the timing on an engine, you retard the timing, and that's the appropriate word, or you know, advance the timing. Or, you know, when Ashley, which is the wife, or her dad are talking about certain medical things, there is a medical definition for, you know, retarded development of a fetus or stuff like that. So there's still a medical term for it. It's just so pervasive to be offensive, you know, to the community that you can't even use that word anymore. And the generation, the age that we are, you know, that was a fairly common term to call each other, which is not appropriate in climate. You know what I mean? But
absolutely not. Yeah, no, I hear you. So, you know, times change. You got to evolve with them and adapt. And some people just can't seem to figure out that they need to do that or how to do it.
Yeah, and then you lose your fucking multi-million-dollar job because, you're Cajun.
Because you're a piece of shit.
With a milk allergy.
It's terrible.
But the other big news, since we haven't gotten into anything funny potentially yet, we're still obviously all doing the social distancing and the lockdown quarantine stuff for the coronavirus.
Coronavirus. I should have downloaded that sound to play. Damn.
So in case you don't know what we're talking about, which I assume you know what the coronavirus is, there's a video of, I think it's Cardi B, yelling about coronavirus, that shit's for real, stuff like that.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, a bit scared. Hopefully that doesn't sound as terrible as it did my ear.
I understand she's a millionaire and she found her niche, whatever group it is that idolizes her, which I'm not a big fan of idolizing people in general, but
yeah,
it's like when they talked about one of the rappers making rap music for people that hold a crayon with their fist to write. It goes in that same category, and it's so, what's the term? Ratchet?
Yeah, but what's weird for me, and I more so than you have a strong like for hip hop or rap music. And I at one point was firmly in the like the newer rappers are, terrible, blah 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 blah. And when you look at hip hop and rap as a whole, it's evolved and changed over the years. And as all of those evolutions have, gone, like they've grown on me. So like I'm not firmly in the camp that she's, some sort of terrible artist. I understand that she's not, what everybody may be looking for because she's outspoken or whatever. But like I don't mind her music. I know she doesn't write most of it too, so that doesn't, that makes it a little easier to like her.
I suppose. I mean, the respect that I have for musicians and stuff, I definitely appreciate when someone is their own self-sustaining force. They write, they play, they sing, whatever it is, they do everything.
The one argument, the one caveat to that is that somebody may write some of the lyrics or whatever that she sings.
Right.
But when you go to one of her concerts, there ain't nobody out there dancing and doing putting on the show for her. That's all her. Like no, that's 100%, so like
there's a lot of performers that
No, you're good. Good.
No, there's a lot of performers that are that way. I mean, they go out there and they kill it. I may not have been, let's just say, Michael Jackson, because that's like the most prolific performer I can really think of as far as dancing. He was clearly the focus. He didn't necessarily rely on background dancers or anything like that. He was the man, and he was very progressive and experimental and did things that other people had never done and really developed a showmanship. And even if he was doing the Ashley Simpson to where he wasn't singing on stage, the amount of performance he did is phenomenal. And I understand that there's still performers that put on a great show, whether they're lip syncing or not. So I'm not trying to take any of that away from them.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because I'm not a concert goer much anymore, or even when I went to concerts where the show is the band playing the music, not.
And you just spend the majority of the time punching your friends in the face.
Yeah, or picking up, injured people from the pit, or, slamming around, shit like that. But no, I mean, like I get that there is a performance aspect to it, and that's not what I'm super into. The performance to me is seeing the accurate reproduction with instruments of the music that I liked, especially if it's self-created music. I know
Hashtag white people.
I get it. It's most prevalent for the white people to like the metal music, but no, and it just I don't think that people instantly deserve respect because they have money. And I think
absolutely not.
That shit aggravates me, and it's so scummy. Yeah, I used to drug guys to rob them. Okay, well that's just as shitty as men raping women.
The weird thing about that, and I don't agree with that at all. But I think you and I've had this conversation before, and I know the last time we had it in reference to, socialism, where when somebody wants to argue against socialism, they immediately pick Venezuela.
Right.
Instead of picking, in like a European country where it works and works well, and so, and I think when in that scenario, when you're looking at like Cardi B, you run to that scenario because it is terrible. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to, say that, but it's almost in that same vein for me where it's like, oh, she's, donated X amount of dollars to do this or to do that or, whatever, but all she did this. So let's forget about everything else. Well, and I don't agree with that either.
Well, I mean, are there things that are so egregious that if you do them, no matter what you do for the rest of your life, no matter how much good you do, that they're irredeemable?
R. Kelly and O.J. Simpson.
So taking someone's life or raping / peeing on children.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
so no
pretty
matter,
much unredeemable.
So like Michael Vick is a for instance. Michael Vick went to prison. He's NFL player, quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons at one point, I believe.
Yep.
Before he went to prison. Went to prison for running a dogfighting ring and torturing animals and stuff like that. I think he was in prison for like 2 years.
I believe it was 2, yeah.
And had to go through a bunch of like psychological evals, and he had to go through therapy and recovery programs. And part of all of the stuff that came from it is he has donated a large amount of money to animal education and been involved in it and been involved in fighting animal fighting rings, and not fighting in, but helping to combat the existence of them. And a lot of people go to the opinion, well, fuck that guy because he's a piece of shit. He killed fucking dogs and tortured them and electrocuted them and shit like that. And we all have a special place in our heart.
Absolutely. And for me, especially with having pit bulls, that, like I feel even more strongly about people like that. Mm-hmm. But even I look at Michael Vick, and he's the definition, in my opinion, from what I can see. I obviously don't know him, and there could be tons of things that I don't know about. But from the outside looking in, when I look at Michael Vick now, Michael Vick is the definition of rehabilitation.
Do you believe that he can ever redeem his sins? And I don't mean that term religiously. I mean,
I know
how fucked up what he did is. Can he ever be a good human to you again?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Mike Vick.
And do you think that every instance has a redemption factor? Like, no matter what you do, if you do enough good, you can wipe it out?
And like I said, taking someone's life not in self-defense and anything involving children is not, and raping women. Those three things are not redeemable in my eyes.
What about raping men?
For sure. See, I don't know that she was raping them. Was she drugging them to rob them, or drugging them to sleep with them? Because there's a drastic difference there. Neither of them are okay. But neither of them are okay. But there is a difference there. And I think she was robbing them or drugging them to rob them, not drugging them to sleep with them.
Okay. Well, and if that's...
And I think that's the difference for me.
Okay. But now if somebody is raping men, is it still irredeemable, or do you have a double
no, yeah. If you're raping men, no. There's no double standard in rape. It's wrong no matter what. But I do, and I don't know for sure because I didn't, I don't care that much, but like I am fairly certain that I remember the Cardi B thing being that she drugged them to rob them, not to rape or take advantage of them.
Well, not to physically take advantage of them.
Yeah, not to do physical harm to them, or rape them or anything. It was strictly to rob them.
So you're looking at the sum of all positives and negatives rather than the highlight reel of either to judge a person.
Yeah, exactly.
So does that mean if somebody went to jail for armed robbery twice in a row and then got out of prison, they're welcome at your dinner table?
I mean, there's a lot of scenarios that it depends on. How do I know this person? Like, is it just some random that I've never met that I'm supposed to invite over for dinner? Probably not.
I just know that if you met someone like that, your likelihood to even engage them in a friendship is going to be decreased, even if,
absolutely.
As a, for instance, even if it was a drug deal gone wrong and they had to protect themselves and somebody got injured over it, and now they're back around and they beat the shit out of their old lady or whatever it is. And it's like, I've changed since then. I work at the church and I've been doing it for 10 years and I haven't beat the shit out of anyone or pointed a gun at somebody. You're just talking about risk mitigation factors, I guess, at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if Cardi B's out there doing good work, good for her. I mean, I can't fault her for being rich or how she got rich, I suppose.
No,
but
no, I mean, she legitimately started with nothing.
But I can tell you, if I have to be around somebody yelling like that and fucking screaming all the time.
No, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good. I can't, like, I like Cardi B's music, but I cannot follow her because of the, and all the yelling. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't have it in me. I don't have that kind of patience.
In right, wrong, or otherwise, it just instantly gives me the impression of lack of intelligence. And I don't just mean her. I mean, in general, that kind of behavior. But,
well, I don't know about all that, but, you know, you're weird, so.
I am. I'm hateful. I'm judgmental.
Yeah, well, I don't know about, I mean, you are judgmental, but aren't we all?
Yeah.
So, there you go. That's the best part about being judgmental, is that we can be.
So what's this whole situation?
I immediately judge people. Haircut? Oh my God. So obviously we're quarantined, or, you know, whatever. In Florida, especially, like, they just, you know, pretty much everything is shut down. Barbers can't work. Like, so, you know, and I'm the type of guy, I went bald at like 22. So I've shaved my head pretty much my whole adult life. I, however, in those years, have never figured out how to shave my own head without missing 37 spots, or, you know, just shit going wrong. Or when I try to trim my own beard, I will take a big chunk out of it. Well, without, you know, so I go to the barber every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks at the most, without fail. I'm in my barber's chair. Got a good relationship with my barber. It's my boy. But, you know, I can't see him. He doesn't make house calls. So I have to take matters in my own hands. So I order a shaver. And I ordered one of the wall shavers that is for, like, it's a foil shaver, so it's for shaving your head super close. Problem is you have to knock down, you know, you basically have to shave all of the hair that's there, and then when the balding shaver will take, you know, all your hair away. But it won't go through thick hair. So I had to cut my own hair, so I bought the wall shaver that has, like, a little pop out shaver thing,
so it's almost like
so that I could cut through.
You'd use an electric razor you'd use on your face almost.
Yeah, exactly. It's really, you know, it's more for your face, but, you know, because I shave my head clean like you would your face, I use it on my head. So it's got this little pop out shaver, and I'll post pictures of the shaver and how my hair turned out over the few days that I tried to cut it. So I get it, and I'm all excited, and I decide that, you know, as soon as it comes in, I'm taking it out of the box, and I start to cut my hair. Well, as I'm cutting my hair, I can hear the battery dying. Like, anytime I get close to hair that hasn't been cut, like, it's like, so all right, well, so I let it charge, and I shaved, like, the first quarter of the side of my head. But it's got to, and I'm reading the manual after I started shaving, of course, because I don't read the manual before I start doing things. I wait, you know, because that's just how I live my life.
And that's how most of us men are.
As I'm reading after reading the manual and having a quarter of my head shaved, I decided to, you know, that I was going to let it charge for the 18 hours that the manual recommended before turning it on.
Holy fuck.
I ain't got anywhere to go. I don't have anybody to impress, though. I ain't got nowhere to go. So I do, you know, I wait next day. I go to shave my head, and it's not going well. But what I did is I jumped over to the other side of my head and shaved that, so that in case something happened, at least it would match, and I could kind of have like a mullet going on for the day. So I let it charge a little bit longer, and I got my wife to finish shaving it for me, you know, with the back and all the places that I couldn't see. And she shaved a heart into the back of my head, which I wanted to leave initially, and then, you know, she tried to, like, cut another, like, a arrow that going through it kind of design, and it didn't go well. So we just shaved it all off, and I finally got my head all shaved and cleaned up. But it took me 3 days and 4 separate tries to actually be able to cut my hair.
That's ridiculous.
But the stages are pretty funny, yeah. So I'll post pictures of the razor and the 3 or 4 different stages of my haircut.
I think the last picture I saw it looked like there was a heart on the back of your head. And
yeah.
I was like, just leave that shit and let it grow out. It'll be, you know, like the I think they're Chinese monk warriors that you see in a lot of the kung fu style movies and stuff, where they just have a long braid from a round circle on the back of their head.
Yeah. I thought about doing that to my beard, actually, just starting to braid it, the goatee part of it. It's getting long enough so I can. It's not as long as yours, but that's what she said.
Yeah, well, maybe, but I mean, you could get the Static X going. Is that what you're thinking?
I think so. Yeah, maybe it might be what I go for.
Maybe
I don't
I'll go.
know. We'll see.
I'll go for that next. I told the old lady that I wasn't cutting my hair or trimming my mustache because I typically shave my mustache completely off and run around with a Boston Whaler. But I told her I'm gonna let it ride until it covers my mouth like Jamie Heineman from Mythbusters.
My wife calls me the Boston Whaler.
That's funny. Man, I think the hair.
I don't.
You just need to
I don't know
ride.
why. I thought about it. I can't let my head, like, I can't let it go because it grows in too weird. Because like I said, I've been mostly bald on the top of my head, and it just grows in too weird. Like I just can't let it ride. I'm letting my beard ride. I didn't touch it at all. Like I haven't trimmed it. I haven't done anything to it. So
Yeah, so your mustache has come in pretty good. I can't stand a mustache. It's like having a fucking
I
sweat.
did trim my mustache. I trimmed it back because as soon as I start chewing on my mustache, it's got to go.
You start
I
pulling
cut
the
it
hair
way
out?
back. Yeah, I can't do it.
Ah, damn it. I think the hair is perfect. You just let it grow. Let it grow.
Yeah, I might. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that's probably the biggest thing that's changed for me with this whole coronavirus thing is not being able to go to the barber. But yeah. So what's been a big change for you with the Rona?
Just too much time spent on social media, shit like that. I'm trying to make it a point to be more active on our group stuff. Picked up a new gig to work from home and stuff like that. So the old lady said, "Hey, now you can just dye your beard purple or blue if you want." So that might be in the works.
It's true.
Which is crazy.
Nice.
Just that, man. Still sticking to the vegan thing. We can do the weekly vegan update.
Oh yeah. Don't sue us, ESPN.
The old lady's doing a really good job. She's a super creative cook, and she can look at most recipes and adjust stuff. We're doing the vegan thing, but we're still trying not to go super heavy on carbs. So like instead of rice and stuff like that, it's rice cauliflower. We're still trying to avoid all the processed stuff. It's a big change from carnivore as far as just the way you feel on everything. You and I talked about cheese is one of those things you just don't get anymore. So it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
You get vegan
have you
cheese,
tried
but
to buy any of the cheese alternatives?
Yeah, we bought, so we have like vegan yogurt and vegan cheese, and the vegan cheese doesn't.
I've not found a vegan yogurt that doesn't taste like shit.
Well, you don't eat the yogurt. You use it with cooking, or like I showed you the chili that we made. I put some on there just to give it some creaminess. I don't understand what the fuck it is, but she bought like this 50-pound block of tofu or something from Costco that she's going to use to make some like butter chicken substitute. So it's okay. I'm a lot hungrier all the time. Like I'm grazing all day. I can go like 2 hours without eating. Whereas when we were on carnivore, I'd eat like one big meal a day and be solid. But I get like uncomfortably hungry every couple hours. So that's where the biggest stuff is. There was something. Oh, so we ordered, the old lady and I were drinking this weekend, and she goes through the Instacart shopping and shit like that. And then when groceries get delivered, Oreos show up and cookies show up and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, we don't ever order stuff like this. What are you doing? She's like, I got drunk and I just bought everything that said vegan on it.
Yep. It'd be like that. Man, when I found out that Nutter Butters and Oreos were vegan, changed my life.
We just don't eat that much sweets, man. I mean, I did find out about the ice cream, and I think you and I talked about, if you had to give up meat or give up ice cream forever, which would it be? And some of the vegan ice cream alternatives are very good, especially if they're not super heavy sugared. I mean, that makes them even better.
Well, I like the So Delicious, the coconut, the ones made from coconut milk.
Yeah.
Like those are very low sugar for the most part because coconut is a natural sweetener of sorts.
Right. We have,
but they're very good.
We have a vanilla based ice cream like that. And then I think I told you that we had a chocolate ice cream that we found that's almost like a mousse. It's super airy. So there's some good stuff that falls under the category. The other thing I thought was super weird is a lot of times people choose to eat vegan or a vegan lifestyle because of the environmental impact or the perceived environmental impact, and they want to help save the environment and stuff like that. And there's a couple reasons why people choose to eat in that habit. And we notice when we're, unpacking food and stuff like that, obviously things come in their own packaging. A lot of the packaging is not biodegradable or recyclable or compostable. And I was like, how is this portion is not helping the environment, whereas I think I told you when we went to Seattle, we noticed that the cups are made of a corn starch or a plant starch, so they're completely compostable. The straws are made of paper, shit like that. So there's all kinds of alternatives.
I think a lot of the vegan stuff, and we've talked about the vegan stuff before, just evolving over time. And I think it's, kind of one of those things where they're getting to market and not thinking about the packaging until they get to market. And then after they've got to market, they're going to go back and figure out the packaging, which I don't think is necessarily the right way to do things. But, I think that's what it is. I just texted you a link to the cheese that I found, and we found it at Publix.
Okay.
But it melts almost. I've made grilled cheese with it, and it's got a good flavor. But we made grilled cheese with it, so it melts similar to like slices of cheese would.
Okay. Yeah, we bought some like shredded cheddar. Ashley's biggest complaint was it's not sharp, but whatever. It melted real well when we made them with plant-based burgers, black bean burgers. But when we made chili and stuff, and the chili's nice and hot coming out of the pan and putting the cheese on it, it just stayed perfectly structural, no meltiness, no anything. So it was,
that's bullshit.
It was exciting the first round, and then subsequently it was a little surprising to not comply.
Yeah, well, it'd be like that sometimes.
But that's the weekly vegan
Stop resisting!
Update.
Stop resisting!
Help! So we're getting towards the end of our time. I just want to cover a quick story with you. Something kind of funny for anybody who decided to make it this far. I talked previously about a coworker at one point named Joe that the first day I worked with him, we were getting out of the van, and I didn't realize that he was a fairly Christian person, like goes to church regularly and stuff like that. And I made the term getting out of the van. I was like, Jesus titty fucking Christ. And he cringed and he's like, please no. So I realized at that point that, he didn't mind profanity. He just didn't care for the Jesus portion being used. Him and I are still friends on Facebook after, 4 or 5 years or whatever it is. And he posted a picture from the parking lot of a hospital or something like that. And the tag on the car had the letters DP and then Guy or King or something after it. So it's like DP King. And he posted the picture with a caption of, I wonder what that means, winky face or LOL. So being the person that I am, I go into the comments section and I very thoroughly but medically explain the term DP as double penetration. That, DP probably stands for double penetration, which is where a man and another man penetrate a man or woman at the same time, blah, 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 blah. And just laid it all out there. And then I get a message from him and he's like, hey, can you delete that? My wife's yelling at me. So I'm like, okay. So I go back and I'm like, I go back to delete it after I see the message and it's already gone. He had deleted the whole thing. Then his wife writes me, mad as fuck, explained about how dare you write that there and how dare you explain something and how blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, whoa, listen. She's like, well, my kids had to see it and now they know what it means. I'm like, well, they're probably going to find out what it means anyway.
Yeah, for real.
If they're the age that they're, 17 and 15, they've probably looked at porn anyway and they already know. And I didn't bring that up to her because I wasn't trying to make his life harder.
Yeah.
But I was like, listen, sorry you're upset. I just answered the question that was asked on the post. Don't have to worry about it again. And then there was a little bit more ranting and I never paid attention again. But man, why am I wrong for explaining what it means when someone says, I wonder what this means? Maybe you're wrong for asking a question you don't want answered. Or for having your kids on Facebook.
Yeah, that's probably mostly it. Facebook sucks. I'm mad at Facebook right now, though, because of my 3-day ban.
What'd you get banned for?
I posted a picture of it's a picture of a foreskin, but instead of the penis poking out of the foreskin, it's a chihuahua staring begrudgingly at people, almost judging them. I would post the picture for all to see, but obviously it gets me banned, so that's not going to work. I might be able to post it on Twitter. I think I can post it on Twitter. I don't think Twitter has any standards like that. So, although I guess
nudity and shit.
Yeah, good way to find out is to post it. So I thought it was a hysterical picture, and what makes me even more mad is that I posted it as it was the first post in a show us your memes post in a group. Like I was going to be the first one in the group to post a meme. And it was going to be that meme. Like I was really kicking things off great, I thought. And then here Facebook goes like it didn't even get a chance. Like as soon as it refreshed, I immediately had a notification that said I was banned for 3 days.
Did it let you contest it and then tell you to fuck off anyway?
It let me to it gave me the option to contest it, and then said, due to everything going on with and we have limited staff, so we may not be able to respond. So basically, yes, they gave me the option to contest it and then told me to eat a dick.
Got it. Eat your own picture, it said.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, at least when I get banned from Facebook for memes, it's because they actually are very inappropriate.
Yeah.
I mean,
this one was pretty inappropriate. I agree that it's inappropririt, but it's not the most inappropriate thing that was, because I can still see that thread because I'm still in the group and I'm not. What pisses me off is when you're banned, you can see everything that's going on, but you can't do anything. You can't like anything. You can't comment. I can't even do stuff like I can't like things from the show's page. I can't do anything.
I didn't realize that.
Well, for whatever reason, for the last day and a half since I've been banned, there's been all sorts of shit that I would have had great replies to, or things that I would have been able to make funny jokes on, or punch people in the dick for saying stupid shit on, and I can't do any of it. I'm mad.
Isn't that always the case, though?
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
Doesn't it always feel that way? Man, I really would have had the best reply for that if I was allowed to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I had in that same group when they were sharing fucked up memes, I was like, oh, guys, I posted it within 10 seconds. It got booted back. And they're like, oh, it can't be that bad. And I was like, I'll send it to you in a DM, but I don't know if they're going to even let that come through. And the guy's like, oh, it can't be that bad. And I sent it to him and he responded with, holy fuck. And I was like,
you've got some pretty, I've seen some memes. They're pretty terrible, the ones you got.
Well, I sent him the other one that has made me cringe. And he's like, oh my God, dude, those are both really bad. Congrats to you. So if you guys think that you're not offended by things, or you don't think I can make you cringe, send us a DM and I bet I can.
DM us the most offensive meme you have, and we will tell you that it's not offensive, and respond back with Travis's memes that will probably end up offending you.
Potentially. I mean, I think we covered how fucked up my sense of humor was without even trying to be fucked up.
It's pretty fucked up. Yeah, no, your sense of humor is so fucked up that you don't realize how fucked up it is.
Right.
And you just bring it out in the daylight so everybody can see it and parade it around like it's some sort of clown.
It's like, dude, that's fucked up. And I'm like, oh, it is?
Oh, my bad, I think.
Well, that's like not realizing that people aren't as tolerant. You know what I mean? It's like I've been out with our friends and made a joke before, and they're like, dude, that's not okay. And I was like, oops, I forgot I'm not out here with my wife. Or I've been out at a bar before and had, we're all sitting around a table drinking or some bullshit and, tell a dead baby joke or something like that. And then someone's like, oh, please don't tell jokes like that. Those really bother me. And I was like, are you a school teacher? Elementary? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, got it.
That makes all the sense in the world.
Which, nothing against elementary school teachers. We obviously need you for elementary school things. I understand that your sensitivity towards dead children jokes is much lower or higher. You're less tolerant. Speaking of elementary schools and children jokes, have you noticed that the first time in something like 10 plus years, we've gone a whole month without a school shooting?
Yeah, I think this is the first March in several years that we haven't had a school shooting in March. Since 2002, I believe, is when the last time we didn't have a school shooting in March. America, I guess. I don't know. Stupid.
Well, good for us.
Yeah, that's
this just proves that the reason there's school shootings
is because there's schools.
Not because people have guns, but because there's schools. Yeah, so get rid of the schools and get rid of education, and just let people sort that shit out like it's 250 fucking years ago.
I'm just gonna insert a little bit of sarcasm there for you, just in case, because I'm sure there's gonna be somebody out there that's gonna be like, these motherfuckers.
Oh, I was hoping I threw enough sarcasm and inflection.
You did for me and probably 90% of people, but there's that one person out there that's going to be immediately offended because they took whatever you said out of context or didn't get the sarcasm in it.
No, well, then I'll add this disclaimer. I definitely don't support school shootings.
Yeah.
I definitely support education.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't support time travel.
There you go. I mean, how can you support time travel in a time like this?
We got to go back to the way it was, man.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta go back to. Let's party like it's 1907.
Sure, we can go back even further and say nobody should have the right to vote unless they own land.
Yeah, we could.
Clearly sarcastic again. I don't agree with it.
Yeah, no, Oh man, I'm gonna have to.
Even they shouldn't be allowed to vote.
I'm gonna have to cut all this out.
Nah, you're good.
I wanted to make sure I got that in there for Billy, since that shit apparently makes him mad. All right, buddy.
All right, kids. I think we've gotten to the end of where we're going.
Yeah, we drove this bus right straight into a wall.
School bus.
We Dale Earnhardted this bus. Oh, tied it back into the beginning of the show.
At least we didn't Kyle Larson it.
That's true. God damn it.
But again, you guys check us out on the social medias. Give us likes, shares, subscribes, all that bull trash.
All that bull trash.
Spread the word with your friends. Make us more contagious than the COVID-19.
Yep, spread the good word. And make sure you send a message at Birds Aren't Real and tell them that we want to interview them. So
yes, we would love to interview the Birds Aren't Real people.
I don't even want I don't even need the guy that founded it. I just need a representative, a spokesperson of Birds Aren't Real to join us on the podcast. So make sure you at Birds Aren't Real and let them know that we want to interview somebody.
Yep.
All right.
Again, kids, it's at Nothing in Mod Pod on all the socials.
Absolutely.
We look forward to hearing from you. Enjoy the outro and all that bull trash. Yes. And we'll have some more stuff for you Thursdays and Mondays every week.
All right. We'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys next week. Stop it.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya.
Hey, kids, you've reached the end of the podcast. That's it. There's nothing more here. Just dead air and this closing statement. We appreciate your diligence, though. Now go back about your day and come back for the next show. Or listen again. In fact, that sounds like a better plan. Grab another show. That's what I'm doing right now. Whoever listens the most wins. You don't really win anything, really. Just the memories of better times, which is winning in my book. All right, well, this is the actual end. Hand banana.